look at this, right? And once again, look at Bitcoin's chart for the previous, how long has this been? 30 days. It's been a month. Yeah, we've been a month in this accumulation pattern. Look at it. Okay, you have that spring that I just described, and then the chop up. Okay, and here you have the SOS sign of strength at the top of the range. Okay, but you're getting something similar here as you work your way up slowly but surely throughout this range. Okay, and although we didn't move much, yeah, we didn't move much, this was a very strong week because we showed strength. We went up, and every time we consolidated, it was up and to the right. Do you see the nature of this consolidation? It's not one of those orthogonal consolidations where you go and you consolidate like this, or even, slump down. No, the consolidation is bullish, up and to the right. It's slanted. You only do that when the buy pressure is so strong that even your consolidations are bullish. Hello everyone, my name is Ian. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is September 16th, 2023, and last week was a strong week in crypto. Okay, we didn't get massive moves, but it was a strong week, and I'm going to show you why that is. And this week should be not only a follow-up to last week in strength, but more importantly, we should see big moves this week, and I'm going to tell you why. If that interests you, then watch until the very end. Hope everyone's having a good day. I understand I haven't been posting much. It's just the volatility has been so low. There's not much that's been happening, but hopefully this makes up for it. Let's get started on the weekly time frame. Okay, as you can see, this week so far is the first green week we've had in a while. Okay, ever since we lost this level at 29k, we've had 4 successive red weeks. Okay, that's a month straight of red weeks. Obviously, we kept that $25,000 level, but still, we were up and down and pretty much created red weeks from, mid-August until now. Okay, but right now we're looking to put in a strong green week, and to qualify this strength, you can really tell by the type of candle that we put in, a hammer candle, right, with a strong wick to the downside, showing that buyers once again stepped in at 25k. Okay, showing that 25k is strong support. And we've been saying on this channel that 25k is not only strong support locally on the small time frames, but on the very large time frame, right? 25k has been strong support for this 3-wave correction, right? As you can see here, and this is a long-lasting support. Okay, it was support for this 3-wave correction for 154 days, and it was it was resistance for this inverse head and shoulders, right? That lasted about 280 days. But what do we know about previous resistance that's now flipped into support? Now it's support. So you can say that in aggregate, we are on a massive support level that's lasted about 460 days, okay? Right? Because everything here plus everything here, that's 460 days of support. So we shouldn't be surprised why buyers stepped in every time we hit 25k. And if we zoom in, right, this is kind of a recap, so bear with me, but I'm going to tell you why we had a strong week, and we can expect an even stronger week. Okay, so buyers stepped in at the 25k level, okay, and as you can see, we've got a quintessential Wyckoff accumulation. Okay, if you pull up the chart of a Wyckoff accumulation, you can Google it if you like, you can see the pattern, the schematic, that it resembles very much so what you're seeing here, okay? It's basically a bunch of tests of the support of the channel, right? The highs or the resistance of the channel are also tested, but then once you sort of look to break the channel to the upside, you do something that's called a spring. So you come below the lowest observable support of the channel, right? So you come dip down below, and then you create a higher low, right? Sorry, a higher high, and you start chopping up, right? So this, we're gonna let's pull the Wyckoff chart up just for the sake of argument. Accumulation. Okay, so we're gonna look at the Wyckoff accumulation pattern, and this is again just a schematic. It doesn't necessarily need to look exactly the same. If you study Wyckoff, you understand that this is just kind of a rough understanding of what it can look like, okay? But not every chart is going to look exactly like this, okay? But if you go and look at the Wyckoff accumulation schematic, you can see what I'm talking about. Like, look at this, right? And once again, look at Bitcoin's chart for the previous, how long has this been? 30 days. It's been a month. Yeah, we've been a month in this accumulation pattern. Look at it. Okay, you have that spring that I just described, and then the chop up, okay, and here you have the SOS sign of strength at the top of the range, okay, but you're getting something similar here as you work your way up slowly but surely throughout this range, okay, and although we didn't move much, this was a very strong week because we showed strength. We went up, and every time we consolidated, it was up and to the right. Do you see the nature of this consolidation? It's not one of those orthogonal consolidations where you go and you consolidate like this, or even, slump down. No, the consolidation is bullish, up and to the right. It's slanted. You only do that when the buy pressure is so strong that even your consolidations are bullish. Okay, and this is what we're seeing here. This is a strong sign of strength, right? This is a phase D SOS, okay? So I really like what I'm seeing on the charts. This is why I'm saying, although we only moved about 6-7% this past week, this was a very strong week. And what this leads to is a breakout, okay? And this breakout can happen even this weekend, okay? Because what we're looking at right now on this 4-hourly time frame, and guys, understand that on the weekly time frame, our stochastic RSI momentum indicator, our general momentum indicator, is bottomed out, okay, and cross bullish. On the daily time frame, we're all the way overbought. However, don't be surprised if this keeps going and this does something like this. Whoops. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, last time. Okay, let me make it a little bigger. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. So, don't be surprised if, even though we're in overbought territory, what you see is something like this. We start chopping up on the daily time frame on the momentum indicator. Momentum indicators are not 100% reliable in terms of prognosticating and determining future price action. They should be used in corroboration with good price action analysis. But don't be surprised in a very strong move, especially on a really high time frame like the weekly time frame. What we're seeing, right? We're seeing a strong move happening on the weekly time frame, that the daily time frame stochastic RSI just hangs out in overbought territory for a while, and any subsequent time frame smaller than the daily, so 4-hourly, hourly, 15, it doesn't matter. Don't pay so much attention when you're in the midst of a really strong move. It's showing, right, that the weekly or some really high time frame is very bullish. don't try to nickel and dime the moves on the small time frames using indicators, especially momentum indicators. It's very misleading because they can stay overbought or oversold for quite some time. What you want to do is pay attention to the high time frame indicator that's showing that initial move. Okay, and also want to pay attention to the price action. So back on the 4-hourly time frame, what we can see is that sign of strength happening, and like I said, it's very much likely to break up and out of this channel. Okay, so this channel up until now, one could say, has been, let's put this up with our channel drawing tool. Where is it now? It is I never know where these things are, and I don't like the little toolbar that takes up my real estate. That's why I don't keep it up on the screen. Let me find this for y'all. Right here. Parallel channel. Okay. I would say this is the bottom. I would say this is the top. Okay? And I would say that's a wick above the top. Okay? So if I had to do my best to draw the channel that Bitcoin's been in for the past 30 days, this is what it would look like. Okay? So we're essentially at the top of the channel. Okay? And everything has been done. The midline has been retested. The bottom, we went from the bottom, right? Remember I said that, like, you always want to see these moves start from the bottom. I know that sounds a little platitudinal, but it's important. Moves typically start from the bottom, even lower than the bottom, as this move has. Went through the middle, retested the middle of support, right? You kind of did that here, you kind of did that here. So not surprised if we continue to the top here. And what is likely to happen is whatever move you put in, you go and then you retest the top of the channel as support, right? Because you've been in this channel for 30 days. What you're not going to do is just take off and not retest previous resistance, 30-day resistance, as new support. So what I'm looking at, right, even this weekend, based off of what I'm seeing right now in the charts, what I'm looking at imminently is a move to probably here, probably 27.7, 28K, something like that, so that our retracement is right on the phi ratio on the top of this previous resistance turned into support. So I would not be surprised if during this weekend at some point Bitcoin went up to 27.7 and came back on Sunday evening, Monday morning, back to 27K. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Do you guys see that? Boom, boom. I see a check back, basically 5 waves up, 3 waves down, and then continuing the move. This is what I'm seeing on the charts, okay? And like I said, the momentum indicator on the 4-hourly time frame, I know the momentum indicator isn't everything, but being that on the 4-hourly time frame, it's overbought and it's crossed bullish here, I would not be surprised if that happened. Down to the hourly time frame, it's looking like we should get a move up from here, okay? And that is Bitcoin on the small and large time frames for this weekend. Now, we've had a great week. Not a great week. We've had a good week, okay? It's a strong week showing strength, okay? We've shown strength. That was the name of the game for this past week, okay? Little by little, just inching up, inching up, inching up. What am I looking for this coming week? This coming week, would not be surprised if we put in major moves. What are major moves? Well, I'm seeing hitting major resistance. And that next significant resistance is about 32K. Okay, so I'm seeing 32K at some point hit next week. Could we go higher? Absolutely. But I'm seeing at very least 32K, because once we break this 30-day accumulation, we rise. okay, we rise, and the next significant resistance would be 32K, which would be the top of this range, 133 days. There's no way, see this orange line right here? There's no way you blow through that. Whoops. There's no way you blow through that without retesting it as support. Okay? So if we do come back, or if we do blow through it, we're going to have to come back down and retest 32K as support. So that is also a possibility, what I just drew right here, okay? Because you see, for 133 days, Bitcoin has been under this 32K, right? Prove it to yourselves. Look at the time this has taken. 150 days, rather. 150 days. But essentially, this WXY or ABC pattern, right? This correction pattern has a resistance of 32K. So, if we do go through, which is likely, okay, we go through and immediately hit 44.5, right? Why 44.5? Because if you look, 44.5, or actually 31K, let's see. We can go as high as 49K. We can go as high as 49K because, as you can see here, and why do I always want to come back to the phi ratio? Because the phi ratio is the maximum retracement in an impulsive move. You can't have an impulsive move and retrace further down below the phi ratio. And if this is indeed a true, tried and true impulsive move, we're only going to retrace down to the phi ratio, okay? So Bitcoin can go as high next week. It can go as high as 49K, okay? Bitcoin can go as high as 49K and come back down the week after to 32K, retesting this 150-day resistance as support. I hope that makes sense. That's my sort of reason for saying that although this week was a good week, the next week should be more explosive. It should be not equally good. It should also be good, but more explosive, okay? And again, look at your stochastic RSI indicator on the weekly time frame. It's completely oversold. So I'm expecting a good week for Bitcoin. Now, good analysis doesn't only look at one data point. We looked at the Bitcoin chart, great. We also want to pay attention to Bitcoin dominance, to the US dollar currency index, to whatever else we can find, altcoins, that is corroborating that read, okay? So, Bitcoin dominance to start with. What are we seeing? Well, we're seeing Bitcoin dominance continue its downtrend, okay? That's a clear downtrend since July. Again, for those of you who don't know, Bitcoin dominance going down is basically what you want to see in a move up. That basically means that despite whatever is happening in the cryptocurrency market, Bitcoin is losing relative value against the rest of the market, against altcoins, okay? And that only happens in a tried and true uptrend where altcoins are gaining against Bitcoin in value, okay? So again, as you can see here very clearly, you don't need, very pithy analysis to determine this. Past 80 days, we've been in a strong downtrend for Bitcoin dominance, okay? And that downtrend can be visualized using this trend line right here, okay? Come down, retest the trend line. Come down, retest the trend line. What's next? Well, given that we've retested the trend line and that trend line is clearly resistance, we should come down again, okay? So that's what I'm seeing for Bitcoin dominance. That's a great sign for a continual uptrend in the entire cryptocurrency market. Again, look at this daily time frame, stochastic RSI on Bitcoin dominance. It's high, it's coming down, or it should be coming down, okay? Let's look at the DXY. Obviously, the DXY is not trading now, but the DXY, as we know, has just been hovering, kind of up and to the right, but not really making impulsive moves. But consolidating in a distribution. I'm calling this a distribution, okay? This is to me a distribution, even though it's up and to the right, it's distributive. And what you're at right here is clearly a resistance, right? This is resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, resistance here. I'm seeing that we're coming down to the bottom of this channel and potentially even breaking down from it, okay? Remember, if the US dollar currency index goes down, that means liquidity is pumped into risk on assets, into Bitcoin, into the rest of the cryptocurrency market. That means crypto goes up. DXY goes up, crypto is not going up, at least in terms of the trend relationship between the US dollar currency index and cryptocurrency. Okay, last but not least, let's look at some altcoins. Let's just pull up the total 2 chart. Okay, and this is the aggregate of all altcoins. And what do you see? You see the same thing you see in Bitcoin. You see a really strong week that we've had. Okay, you see a really strong bullish cross on the stochastic RSI on the weekly time frame. If you zoom into the daily time frame, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days in altcoins, okay? 5 straight green days. And what you can see is this 30-day channel that altcoins have been in, okay? Where's your next significant resistance? The top of the channel, very clearly. So I can see the top of the channel being hit at some point this weekend, right? And perhaps some consolidation at the top before breaking it and continuing to the upside. So everything's looking good for a move to the upside. Wouldn't be surprised if we got it this weekend. The Bitcoin dominance chart is corroborating that. The DXY, US dollar currency index chart, is corroborating that. So I think the name of the game is prepare yourselves, set yourselves up, if you're not already, for moves up this coming week. You should get some quite explosive moves this coming week, okay? Some assets have already started to move up in a big way, okay? Some assets have already done this, okay? You can look at your watch lists and see, okay, maybe for today we only have a 6% mover, 5% mover here, but if you look at general watch lists in CoinMarketCap, you can see triple digit movers, in the past 48, 72 hours. So this is a good sign. Crypto's waking up. Crypto's waking up. So guys, hope this was helpful. This was useful. Like, share, subscribe if you got value, and I will see you.